Welcome back to the deep dive. So you sent us something pretty weighty this time. It's a text trying to weave together, well, everything. Ancient spirituality, quantum physics, even occult stuff.
It really is ambitious. Claims to be the guide to the genesis of the universe, sacred geometry, and human incarnation. Big scope.
Huge. But okay, our job here isn't to, validate it all, but to dig into its core ideas, right? To find that universal cipher it talks about.
Exactly. We're looking at the framework it presents. The central idea is that geometry isn't just shapes. It's the actual architecture, the blueprint for consciousness, for matter itself.
Which shifts things, doesn't it? From just abstract thought to, well, almost a kind of physics of consciousness.
Precisely. The source lays out this organizing principle. Everything, absolutely everything, operates on frequency, vibration, and consciousness. That's the bedrock.
And if you accept that premise, it leads directly to that old Hermetic law.
The all is mind, the universe is mental, meaning reality starts as thought, and that thought takes form geometrically. We're basically looking at the structure of that first thought.
Okay, let's get into those structures. Where does this geometric story begin according to the source?
It starts simple, with the seed of life. Think of it as a geometric telling of Genesis. Spirit starts, creates a sphere, moves to the edge, creates another, and repeats that 6 times.
Using only the radius, right? That first pattern of 7 circles, that's the creation moment.
That's the Genesis pattern, yeah. And then the moment you have 2 spheres overlapping, you get something crucial, the Vesica Piscis.
Ah, yes. The source calls this the window to the soul. Why that specific phrase? It sounds, well, profound.
It's less about where the soul is and more about how it observes. That overlap, the Vesica Piscis, it is duality, light, dark, yes, no. Mathematically, though, get this. It contains the square roots of 2, 3, and 5.
Infinite numbers, emerging from the intersection of finite circle.
Exactly. It's where dimension itself is born. It's the geometric shape of perception, you could say.
Okay, so it's the tool for seeing reality. Then you add a third sphere.
And you get the Trinity. Now, consciousness can do something really practical. It can locate itself.
Triangulation, like GPS.
Just like GPS, yeah. You fix your position based on 3 known points. Without that, consciousness is just everywhere and nowhere. No perspective. Triangulation allows for a U.
Which builds up, presumably, to more complex forms, like Metatron's cube. The source calls that the blueprint for all physical matter.
That's the one. Imagine the feminine fruit of life pattern, all those circles, and then draw straight masculine lines connecting the centers. That 2D diagram, Metatron's cube, holds the potential for all 3D shapes.
And specifically the 5 Platonic solids.
Yes. The only shapes with identical faces, edges, angles, the absolute basic building blocks.
And the source links them to the ancient elements, which is a nice touch.
It really is. Tetrahedron is fire-pure energy structure. Cube is earth stability, the crystal lattice. Octahedron is airspace itself. Icosahedron is water, think, DNA, flow, crystalline forms.
And the 5th, the dodecahedron, ether, 0-point energy. This one gets special attention, called forbidden geometry. Why forbidden?
Well, it's complexity, more faces, more vertices. Geometrically, it's seen as the most, let's say, efficient container for energy manipulation.
Allowing energy to move much faster.
Magnitudes faster, according to the text. It suggests this shape taps into etheric energy in a unique way.
And here's the kicker. The claim that the frame of the first nuclear bomb was based on a dodecahedron.
Right. To harness that power, that efficiency. It's a stark link, isn't it? Ancient geometry and modern destructive power.
A very provocative connection indeed, from structure to flow. This brings us to fear, the golden ratio, 1.618.
Phi is fundamental in this model. It's presented as the mathematical signature of source itself. But practically, it's the optimal pathway for energy, the most efficient way for energy to move and grow.
And it's scale invariant, meaning it works at any size.
Exactly. Zoom in, zoom out, the proportion holds. That's why you see it everywhere in nature. Shells, galaxies, plant growth. Life strives towards this perfect efficiency. It's like the universe's preferred pattern.
Which connects to the 5-pointed star, right, because it inherently contains phi.
Yes, governing that fractal self-similar growth. And this idea of optimal flow, of perfect structure, leads to the personal energy field, the Merkaba.
The soul vehicle. A 3-dimensional Star of David.
A star tetrahedron, technically.
Yeah.
2 tetrahedrons interlocked. 1 points up masculine, cosmos. 1 points down feminine, earth. It's the geometric balance.
And they spin in opposite directions.
That's the key. That counter-rotation creates a harmonized energy field. The source claims this field can elevate consciousness, even allow for, well, travel beyond the physical. It's your personal geometric engine.
This ties into another idea, dimensional lenses. We don't just see one reality, but view it through levels.
Sort of like filters, yeah. The spirit uses fundamental shapes. The cube and the sphere are mentioned as keys to shift between these perceptual levels or lenses.
And we're currently on the second level, a 10-12 ratio apparently. Moving towards a third, 14-18, Christ consciousness.
That's the terminology used. And interestingly, the Great Pyramid is cited as a kind of geometric map or key for facilitating this shift for humanity.
What's really interesting here is how dimension is defined, not space or time, but harmonics.
Exactly. Think of consciousness as a complex vibration, a unique frequency signature. Dimensions are just different harmonic levels of that one vibration.
Like octaves in music.
Precisely. And musical notes, chakras, these dimensional levels, the source claims they're separated by 90-degree shifts or rotations in this vibrational model.
Okay, pause in this detail. 7.23 centimeters. All dimensions are supposedly based on this unit. That's incredibly specific.
It is. The text links it to two things. One, the measured frequency of the ohm vibration, that primordial sound.
It too.
The average distance between human eyes. The suggestion is pretty profound. The fundamental unit of the universe's structure is directly related to our primary mode of observing it. We're hardwired into the dimensional framework.
Wow. Okay, so if the universe is vibrational and we're observers hardwired in, let's talk consciousness itself. The brain isn't the source.
Not the originator, no. More like a receiver. A highly sophisticated antenna picking up a signal, a fragment from the universal mind.
And the connection point, the tether, is the pineal gland, the third eye.
Yes. It acts like the transducer, translating those high-frequency cosmic signals into something our nervous system can process. And get this, its physical structure apparently incorporates the golden ratio, phi.
Making it an optimal receiver by design. So the brain receives, and our life experience is like a program running on the subconscious.
That's the analogy used, yeah. The subconscious is the operating system. We receive this conscious energy, we process it, transform it through our experience, and contribute it back.
But why incarnate it all? Why the program?
The key mechanism, the source argues, is amnesia, forgetting. If we came in remembering our connection to everything, that pure, unified state.
We wouldn't focus, we wouldn't have individual experiences.
Exactly. The forgetting forces us to concentrate on the material world, on limitation. It creates the necessity for a mission, a unique path of experience and learning, which ultimately feeds data back to the whole.
And the tools for navigating this mission, this program, are the chakras. But not just energy centers, they're called reality motors.
Right, engines. They spin energy. They literally generate and align your personal reality field. The flow is crucial.
Talk me through that flow.
Okay, so divine energy comes in through the crown, gets processed or seen by the third eye that dictates perception, then flows down to the heart.
And the heart is the main engine.
It's the central driver, yeah. It blends that divine magnetic energy with the denser energy of matter. From there, it flows down through the lower chakras, grounding the experience.
And misalignment gums up the works, causes blockages.
That's the idea. Stuck energy manifests as illness, negative emotions, struggle. But when they're aligned and spinning correctly, the potential power is immense.
The source mentioned 70 trillion volts. That sounds
Yeah.
astronomical. Where does that number come from?
It's a theoretical calculation. Take the average electrical potential of a single human cell, about 1.4 volts, and multiply it by roughly 50 trillion cells in the body.
So it's illustrative of the scale of potential energy within us.
Exactly. It's not about literal voltage you could measure, but about the sheer energetic power available when consciousness is focused and aligned through the chakra system. You can direct that energy.
Which you need, because we're navigating what the text calls the grand illusion. Reality is a reflection, and our senses,
Yeah.
they lock us in.
They create polarity. Light, dark, hot, cold, good, bad. This perception filter is called the veil of Isis. It keeps us focused within the illusion, within the program.
And this leads to the internal war. The only real enemies are inside us.
Fear, anger, pride. The source calls them media parasites. They feed on that internal energy. They create interference, drain your power.
So overcoming them is key to manifestation. The source even gives a formula. Conscious focus equals thought clarity times frequency of care.
It's very specific. You need clear intention, thought clarity, combined with strong positive emotion, frequency of care. That focused energy, it argues, literally collapses the probability wave of thought into a particle, into reality.
It's not just wishing, it's a decisive act.
Absolutely. You have to consciously choose the reality you want, starve the parasites of the old reality, and fully embody the new identity. Cut off the opposing possibility.
Okay, let's shift to the universal tools mentioned. The holographic principle seems central.
Hugely important. The idea that every part contains the whole. The geometric information of the entire universe is encoded in, say, a single proton. Everything's entangled.
And navigating this hologram requires knowing the rules, the 7 Hermetic teachings.
Mentalism, vibration, rhythm, polarity, gender, cause and effect, correspondence. These are presented as the non-negotiable laws of the universe. You have to understand them to consciously navigate reality.
Even spiritual travel is framed practically, not floating off somewhere, but focused consciousness.
Right. Daydreaming, visualization, even memory recall, these are all forms of conscious travel. The goal isn't escape, but building awareness and resilience within the physical experience, making your consciousness stronger.
The text also touches on psychedelics. How do they fit in?
As tools, basically. Temporary tools that can increase dimensional perception, allow glimpses of that underlying geometric architecture, the E8 lattice, mandalas, things like that.
By affecting the amygdala.
That's the mechanism proposed. By dialing down the fear response, the fight or flight, the source calls the pharmacy of fear, it frees up neurological resources. That freed up energy goes into perception, amplifying it, sometimes lifting that quarantine of time.
A temporary peek behind the veil.
Something like that. And finally, it frames all spiritual traditions, Hindu, Egyptian, you name it, as pieces of one great puzzle. Each holds a vital part of the knowledge needed for our collective shift, our ascension.
So wrapping this deep dive up, the core takeaway seems to be about becoming the observer.
Yes. By understanding this geometric vibrational nature of reality and yourself, you shift from being in the program reacting to it to being the observer who can consciously interact with it. The observer is the point of unity, connecting mind, body, spirit.
And that observer.
Yeah.
That's you, the listener. You're the one collecting the data.
You're the star player, gathering unique perspectives through your experiences, even the tough ones. Those challenges, the suffering the source, suggests they're the missions you chose to gain specific insights, to strengthen that conscious focus.
You're connected via entanglement, right back to the singularity. The knowledge isn't just out there, it's supposedly encoded in your DNA.
Which leads us to the final thought, the question for you to really sit with. Knowing this potential connection, knowing this inner power, what specific knowledge, what ability, what aspect of your desired future will you focus your quantum energy on today to start pulling it into your present reality?